Hey everyone, Hallie here. In today's video, we're going to be ranking every single strategist found within Marvel Rivals. For those of you who need a refresher, the strategist characters within Marvel Rivals is essentially the healer archetype. These are your support characters that are all about healing the team, and really that's their whole thing, is healing the team and maybe providing them some buffs. Currently, in the base game of Marvel Rivals, we have 7 different strategist characters, and in today's video, I'm going to be ranking, in my own personal opinion, now keep in mind this is my own opinion, this isn't like a professional gamer's tier list, this is my own opinion about these characters, but I'm going to be ranking them from my least favorite to my most favorite. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and rank all of the strategists within Marvel Rivals. Now, at the number 7 spot, my least favorite strategist within Marvel Rivals, and man, this is heartbreaking to say, but it has to be Raccoon. Rocket's base kit is essentially made up with a machine gun as your primary attack, and then some 8 healing orbs for your secondary fire, which acts as how you heal people within Marvel Rivals as Raccoon. Now, he also does have some unique special abilities, those being his rocket dash that he has, and he also has a beacon that allows you to revive a teammate, which is super useful, and that is a great ability. However, that's really the only great ability Raccoon has. In my opinion, Raccoon's main attack and his healing ability is just a little bit too inconsistent. His main attack is great because it's just like a machine gun. However, his healing being orbs that fire very quickly but then slow down near your teammates, I don't think it works well. I feel like there's a lot better healing within this game and a lot easier healing. The issue with Raccoon, in my opinion, is that you have to, if you want to heal a teammate, you'll be firing at someone, and then you have to switch off and fire your little ball at your teammate, and it doesn't even heal that much. And maybe your teammate moves away from the ball. Maybe you just have bad aim. I feel like Raccoon's just too inconsistent, and his kit really just isn't super intriguing in my opinion. So just for that, not being too great of a healer, not doing too much damage, very difficult to survive as him. His mobility is okay, but his jetpack does feel a little bit stiff. Yeah, overall, he's not my favorite strategist, although he's okay. And that's something important to note, is that with all of these strategists and all of the characters in Marvel Rivals, you can do good with him in the right hands. So just keep that in mind. But in my opinion, Raccoon he's not great, so he's going to be the number 7 spot. Now, at my number 6 spot, I have Adam Warlock. I feel like in essentially everything that Adam Warlock is in, except for the comics, he gets mistreated, and I would say the same is true in Marvel Rivals. In my opinion, Adam Warlock just doesn't have a great kit. I mean, his healing is very strong single-person healing, and that is fantastic. However, in my opinion, he just feels a little weak compared to the other strategists in the game. I do think it is cool that, again, he is one of these strategists that are able to revive people, and he is also able to resurrect himself whenever he dies, which is a super useful ability. And especially like if you team it up with some of the other Galaxy or Guardians of the Galaxy, they also get that resurrection ability, which can be super useful as it saves you from having to run all the way back to spawn and waste all that time. You can get right back into the action, so he's great for that. However, everything except for his resurrection ability, I just don't feel like it's great. He has fantastic single target healing, don't get me wrong, like you can heal people very quickly with a single heal, and the soul bond ability is okay. It essentially distributes like your damage across your allies. So I mean, it's okay. However, I just don't think he's great. I feel like his single target healing is strong. However, it's just super situational. And when you look at some of the other strategists that we will get to later on in the list, that single target healing can just kind of bite you in the butt sometimes. So in my opinion, he's going to come in at number 6. His kit is okay. I certainly prefer it more than Raccoon's. However, I just think he is still a little bit weak. But his resurrection ability is fantastic. And if you pair that up with some of the other characters in Marvel Rivals, it can be super good. However, I think overall he's going to be at the number 6 spot for me. Now we're on the top 5, and I gotta say, these top 5 characters are characters I enjoy playing. That's just how good the character balancing in Marvel Rivals is. I think a lot of the characters are fantastic. So let's go ahead and get into the top 5 strategists. At my number 5 spot, I have Mantis. Now, I think Mantis is super fun to play, and her kit is very similar to Thor, where you have little things on cooldown, and those tokens essentially that are constantly on cooldown are related to your abilities, and you spend 1 token in order to activate 1 ability, which is essentially how your stuff recharges. I think Mantis's healing is fantastic. I think she is great as an offensive character, and also the ability to put people to sleep is very useful. It's a stun where, you know, if maybe a tank is chasing you or maybe a duelist is chasing you, you can put them to sleep as Mantis, run over to your back line or maybe your teammates or whatever, and you get that protection, whereas with other characters, you might have died. So overall, I think Mantis is a fantastic character, and her ultimate is also super good, which is, it's essentially like a Zenyatta ultimate where the allies around her get healing and a movement speed boost. I think Mantis is fantastic, and the only reason is that she is number 5 is there are just other characters that I prefer to play. One of my main gripes against Mantis, and this is kind of just sort of a personal preference thing, is just the fact that, again, you have to have that single target healing, and it can just be a little bit annoying at times. However, her ability to inspire teammates is also super good, as it just gives them like a flat damage buff. So, you know, Mantis is fantastic. She's a fantastic character. However, I just feel like there's more fun strategists. And, you know, just for that, just because I feel like there's more fun characters, I'm going to put her at the 5 spot. At number 4, we have a character I think that is super fun to play. All of these characters I think are super fun to play, especially at this 4 spot and above. But we have Luna Snow. Now, what Luna Snow does is she's all about essentially ice, and she's one of those characters where you can use your main attack to heal your allies, or you can use it to damage your enemies, which I gotta say, I love main attacks like that, you know, if that gives you a hint as to who the next characters are. But yeah, I think Luna Snow's ability to heal teammates and also deal damage is fantastic. Her ability to throw a little snowball at her enemies to slow them down is again fantastic for the same reason that I stated for Mantis. Like the ability to stop a tank or a duelist that is chasing you in their tracks and being able to run away from them, especially with her passive that allows you to essentially put on like ice skates and you go super quick. I feel like Luna Snow is just super maneuverable. She has a great healing. I just think she's really good overall. You also have the ability to put a shield on your teammates, which is super nice. And yeah, I just think she's overall super great. Her main attack is powerful. Her side abilities are powerful. I think she's just super good overall. And her ultimate is essentially like Lucio from Overwatch, where you have the option to give your teammates a super powerful healing radius orb like Zenyatta, or you can choose to make them go quicker and do more damage. And the ability to switch between these is super rapid, so you can heal up your teammates if they're getting low, and then switch to the damage boost once they're at full health. She's just super versatile. I feel like she's fantastic. She fits the role of a strategist perfectly. She's able to get out of situations very quickly, which increases her survivability, which is very nice because, you know, you don't really want to be dying. So yeah, overall, I think Luna Snow is just a fantastic character. And my main gripes with her is just her main attack. Like, although it is, you know, as I said, it is nice. But my issue with it is a single target attack. So, you know, you have to have aim. But, you know, if you're able to have aim and you got that on lock, then she's fantastic. But yeah, overall, she's going to be at the 4 spot. Next up, at the 3 spot, we have a character that I feel like a lot of people could almost consider a duelist. However, he has so much healing potential, and that is Loki. Loki is a classic trickster archetype. Of course, he is a Loki. Loki has the main ability to create little clones of himself that act as turrets, which are incredibly powerful. He can also switch between these little Loki decoys at will, which is, again, super powerful because you can get out of situations where you should have died very quickly. And let's just talk about his main attack real quick. It is a projectile area of effect weapon that deals damage to your opponents and it also heals your teammates. So it is fantastic. I feel like Loki's main attack is absolutely incredible. And it's perfect for healing too, and I love that it's splash damage. I feel like that's probably my most favorite damage type. So Loki is great. His main attack and decoy abilities is fantastic. He also has the ability to essentially go invisible. So if you can't switch to a decoy, you can just go invisible. So Loki has so much survivability, and you're able to stay alive, which as a strategist is incredibly important. So that definitely puts him ahead of a lot of the other strategists in this category. Also, his ultimate is pretty crazy. You are able to transform into any enemy character on the enemy team that you can see, and you can use their ultimate. So in the gameplay footage that I have, I switch into Hela, and I'm able to use Hela's ultimate, which is one of the best ultimates in the game. So yeah, Loki is just incredibly versatile. He has a lot of damage capability. He has a lot of healing capability. He is phenomenal. I think Loki is a fantastic character, and you know that he's at the 3 spot, so that should tell you what I think about the next 2 characters. But I really have no gripes with Loki. I gotta say that just because he is lower than the other 2 characters, that doesn't mean I don't think he's amazing. Yeah, I would imagine he is certainly competitively viable. I just prefer playing these other 2 characters a little bit more. But yeah, that's a Loki. He is a fantastic character, and you really can't go wrong by picking him as your character in Marvel Rivals. So let's go ahead and get into the top 2. At the number 2 spot, I have. You'll either get really upset with this, or I hope you can understand. But I have Jeff, the baby land shark. Jeff's kit is incredibly simple, and I feel like that's where a lot of just the simplicity of his kit just makes him so fun to use. The way that Jeff heals is he shoots like a water beam at his teammates, and it allows them to heal. And then his main way of attacking enemies is a little like, I call it a spit blast. It looks like he's spitting. But yeah, that's his way of attacking, and both are pretty solid options. That healing beam heals friendlies incredibly quickly, and his little spit also does a ton. I mean, it does a solid amount of damage, and again, it's a projectile area of effect, like little explosion, so that's really nice. And then when we look at Jeff's kit, he has the ability to heal. Again, he shoots out little healing orbs that when your teammates walk into them, or if you walk into them, you get a little bit of health and you go a little bit faster, which is just, it's fantastic. And you get a bunch of them. They're always on cooldown. So his healing bubbles are fantastic, a solid ability, and it's also great for just healing yourself, which is an issue a lot of strategists have, is that they can't heal themselves. However, Jeff can. And then Jeff's other ability is to essentially swim on the land. He dives down, and he is able to go incredibly quickly. And this ability has no cooldown, so you can use it whenever you want. Of course, you can't attack during this phase. However, it's still incredibly powerful. You're able to get around the map super quickly. You're able to reposition really quickly, and you're also able, maybe you need to hide, or maybe you need to climb up a wall. You're able to do it in this ability, which is super useful in certain situations. So overall, Jeff is fantastic. However, what made him at the number 2 spot is his cuteness. Jeff is so cute. Okay, he had to be at least in the top 3. And the other thing that greatly helped Jeff, in my opinion, is his ultimate. I think Jeff's ultimate is easily one of the best ultimates in Marvel Rivals. Especially, it certainly depends on the map that you are playing on. But if you're able to pop a Jeff ultimate and eat up all your enemies and then spit them out like over a railing of the map, causing them all to just die, that is super powerful. Or maybe, you're about to push the payload onto the final point. You're able to eat up all the enemies and then keep them away from stopping you pushing the payload. It is super useful. Jeff's ultimate has so much utility, and it is just a fantastic ultimate. One thing you do have to be careful of when you are playing Jeff and using his ultimate is eating your teammates. However, another amazing part of this ultimate is that you are able to spit out your teammates and then spit out the enemies. It's just fantastic, and what you can do with Jeff and his ultimate is just so good. He's such a cute little guy, and he's also a fantastic healer. So for that, you know, maybe not as strong as Loki. However, due to his ultimate and just how cool it is, and also due to how cute he is, you know, we all love Jeff. I'm going to give him the number 2 spot. And my favorite strategist to play as in Marvel Rivals is going to be Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is absolutely everything I would want in a Marvel Rivals character, and specifically a strategist within Marvel Rivals. You have fantastic healing options with Cloak, where you are able to either throw out your daggers, your main weapons, and hit your teammates with them to heal them, which is a incredible source of healing, and it also locks onto your teammates for you, so you barely have to aim, which is just so useful. So you have a fantastic healing ability, and then you can switch over to Cloak, and you can, you know, maybe you're in a sticky situation. You are able to activate Cloak's ability to essentially teleport and go invisible, and your enemies don't know where you went. I think Cloak and Dagger is just a fantastic character, and everything you would want in a strategist, from survivability to damage to the ability to heal teammates, and make sure you're doing that easily. You have so many options with Cloak and Dagger, and I think it is just the perfect strategist. I guess, as it is Cloak and Dagger, they're incredibly powerful, and they're such a good duo. I really don't know what else to say. I guess the ultimate for Cloak and Dagger isn't really the most, you know, exhilarating thing in the world. However, if you're able to use that ultimate in like a tight area, or maybe on a capture point to just mess with the enemies and kind of shake them up a little bit, it can be a super useful ultimate. Overall, I just think Cloak and Dagger are the best strategist characters inside of Marvel Rivals. They're incredibly strong. They have a lot of survivability. They have a lot of mobility with Cloak. If you want to move around like vertically, I guess they don't have too much horizontal mobility. However, if you're playing as a strategist, I don't know. I find that Cloak is really all that I need to like get out of situations. So, and that's gonna round off my Marvel Rivals strategists rankings. Let me know if you guys agree with them. Let me know if you disagree with them. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. It really does mean the world. And let me know your lists down in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to think. Do you think Raccoon is the best strategist and I have the worst list ever? Let me know. I'm really curious to hear what you all have to say. And anyways, I just want to say again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.